Welcome to Top Headline. Today's top headline from the New American Magazine is entitled, Georgia Governor Kemp Signs Heartbeat Life Act into Law. And today we have with us on the program again, pro-life speaker and blogger and activist, Heather Hobbs. Thank you for joining us today again on the program.
Thank you for having me, Christian.
So earlier today, you've probably heard the news. Governor Brian Kemp of Georgia signed HB 481, the heartbeat bill as it's been described, or the Life Act to go by its acronym, was signed earlier today into law. And we've heard some folks positive about the bill, supportive of it, and others on the left have condemned it already as an abuse on women. However, I understand you have a different take on this bill because of certain exemptions in the bill that we discussed in one of our previous videos. So can you tell us what's problematic about this bill today?
So this particular bill added exceptions. Originally, the author, Representative Ed Setzler, he had a good, clean bill. It protected all babies, regardless of disability, regardless of how they were conceived. And just moments before I was in the Capitol in Georgia, they added exceptions. It came down from the top, and we kind of had to roll with it. And what these exceptions did is it made the bill essentially pointless. There are so many exceptions for those who have disabilities, for children who are conceived in rape, who maybe have a life-threatening diagnosis, which often is not accurate. I have countless women who I've met who had a screening that said that their baby had Down syndrome, or that their baby had genetic markers for something that was fatal, and their babies were born perfectly healthy. So this bill targets and dehumanizes these people groups. And so Save the One, the organization that I represent, we strongly oppose the bill with the exceptions, but we fully support it and want it upheld in its original form as it was written.
Now, we've heard today from the ACLU and from Planned Parenthood that they plan to fight the bill as it stands, even with the exceptions added on. The ACLU tweeted, we've said it before, we'll say it again, we will see you in court. So obviously they intend to sue. They've probably already submitted their lawsuit, but they're going to sue the state of Georgia over this bill. What do you and Save the One intend to do about that lawsuit?
We actually intend to sue the state of Georgia as well.
So so wait a minute, this is breaking news. You are telling us that you are going to sue the state of Georgia. Is this that's what you're telling us correctly?
That is what I'm telling you.
Wow.
Save the One, if board approved, we will be suing the state of Georgia. And what our lawsuit is wanting, we are going to want the law upheld. We want the heartbeat bill. We support the heartbeat bill. But what we are fighting for is to remove the discriminatory exceptions. We don't want these people groups targeted, because if you are allowing those who have disabilities or maybe were conceived in a less than desirable way, if you're allowing them to be targeted for death, just based on, maybe a simple test that is inaccurate, what does that say about when they're here? My daughter was conceived in rape when I was 19 years old, and I dread the world that she's growing up in. She's going to grow up and think that maybe she's less than human, or feel like perhaps that she's less than worthy to be here because society says children conceived in rape don't deserve to live. And so that's what we are fighting. We will not back down. We will fight for all children, no matter how they came to be, no matter what their disability or limitations may be. They all deserve a chance at life.
So your lawsuit is intended to ensure the personhood of every child, regardless of the situation in which they were brought into this world.
Exactly.
Okay, have you heard any sort of response from Georgia Right to Life and other personhood organizations? What is their stance on the heartbeat bill as well?
Georgia Right to Life does not support the bill with exceptions, and they've made that very clear. There is another organization, Georgia Life Alliance. They have been supporting this bill, but they also support it with no exceptions as well. And so they will support it if it gets changed. There is a lot of varying opinions in the pro-life world about children conceived and raised for those with disabilities or those who may perhaps be considered a threat to the mother's life, which there are thousands of OBGYNs who have come forward and said there is no situation in which abortion is necessary. And so what my question would be for all of the people that are watching is, are you really pro-life if you believe in exceptions, or are you pro-choice with limitations?
It's a good
That's
point.
something to consider.
It's a powerful point you make there. Have there been other state legislatures that have passed, and with their governors signing as well, a clean heartbeat bill that doesn't have any exceptions in it?
Yes, Kentucky's governor, I believe Governor Bevins, and
Governor Matt
Ohio.
Bevin.
Yes, and Ohio. I believe Missouri was trying to get something passed. I haven't personally checked up on that, but I know for sure Ohio and Kentucky have good, clean heartbeat bills where they do not discriminate against children for any reason. And, you know, I did make an announcement that we were so pleased to see that and that they support all people.
So to make it clear, Save the One, your organization that you represent, fully endorses the bills as passed and signed into law in the states of Kentucky and Ohio, but not in Georgia with these exceptions. And your lawsuit seeks to remove those exceptions from Georgia to bring Georgia's bill in line with those in Kentucky and Ohio to protect the sanctity of all human life, regardless of rape, incest, or any sort of genetic abnormalities they may find in the child, such as those diagnosed with Down syndrome.
That's correct, Christian. And, you know, as a mother, and not specifically as an activist or a pro-life speaker, as a mother, what I'm hoping is that my children can be raised in a country where we are not discriminating children in the womb based upon race, gender, disability, or how they were conceived. And that is my biggest push in this movement, is that we are accepting and loving of all children and that we are not targeting them, and that my children can be raised in a country where we are truly saying we are a free nation and that we protect all people without discriminatory exceptions, without any kind of racism, without any kind of targeting people with disabilities. We claim to be fighting for that in every other aspect except the pro-life world. And so I'm hoping that we can make a change.
So where can people go to learn more about your lawsuit, or maybe not your lawsuit yet since you're just revealing this information to us, but where can people go to learn more information about your organization and yourself? Do you have any web pages or places others can go for information?
Yes, so if you want to know specifically about the lawsuit aspect, SaveTheOne.com is the organization that I represent who will be suing the state of Georgia. I also have a Facebook page, Heather Hobbs Pro-Life Speaker, and a website, heatherhobbs.org. And as mentioned before, I'm playing around on Twitter trying to figure it out. So Heather Hobbs Pro-Life Speaker on Twitter.
Okay, well, thank you for joining us today on the program. It's all the time we have. We wish you the best of luck in your lawsuit, and God bless you, and take care, Heather.
Thank you, Christian. We appreciate your support here at Save the One.
Absolutely. And for those of you watching us out there, be sure to like and share this video. And if you have not done so already, subscribe to the New Americans YouTube channel and Facebook page. Also, you can find us on Twitter along with Heather as well.